So after the FA Cup final, some fans decided to take it upon themselves to write an open letter to INEOS begging them to keep Ten Hag in charge. I've got to say, at the time I found this rather embarrassing. Yes, we just won the FA Cup, but you literally just finished 8th in the league.
Brother, what's that?
And this video today, you can say, is my video version of an open letter to INEOS. And now I'm not actually going to say whether I'm Ten Hag in or out or not. You guys can make that decision after you watch the video, and chuck a cheeky subscribe while you're there as well. To start though, can we actually deep what fans were begging for after that FA Cup? I seen someone saying recently, can you imagine Madrid or Barcelona winning the Copa del Rey yet finishing 8th? Can you imagine what their fans' reaction is going to be to that? Would they be begging for the manager to stay? And it's not even as if we were unlucky to finish 8th. Like, it's not even as if our performances indicate that we should be better. If anything, it was the other way around. Our expected points were something around 13th in the league. It was that player ability that actually got us to finish in 8th in the league. It was nothing to do with the manager. And now I understood INEOS keeping him at the time. It made complete sense. You tried to go after different managers. There was no one really available. And the fan opinion was obviously split on Ten Hag. So INEOS said, we'll give him a little bit of time. But this start of the season was yet another audition for Ten Hag. And now we're 6 games into the Premier League season. That's more than enough for me. And we're currently more likely to get relegated than finish anywhere near the Champions League places. I've heard excuse after excuse all of last season, and now we're hearing them this season as well. Last season it was the injuries. We didn't have players like Martinez available. This season, some are still running the old players letting him down gimmick, talking about the players that played under previous managers, but there's barely any of them left now. The starting 11 is made up of Ten Hag signings. So what is his excuse now? I'm still seeing him talk about the young players that we've signed and talk about how we're still in this process of building now. But apart from Euro, what young players have you actually signed? Yes, they were younger in age profile, but nearly every other signing has been established in the top leagues for quite a while now. So you can't be running that excuse this year. Honestly, it's one thing after the other with him. Like, brother, it's been 2 years already now.
I can't do anything else.
And many fans still refuse to blame him for anything. I'm still seeing that classic Fergie newspaper article that's been doing the rounds again this week, and just blindly backing Ten Hag on the fact that he might come out of a miracle that Fergie once did. Come on, guys, it's not the 80s anymore. We need to be moving on from that now. I'm so fed up of seeing that newspaper clip, and the 2 cups were great. Brilliant. But are we just going to pretend now that these stats just don't exist? Like the same record as Gary Neville? Really, guys? It's the worst football I've seen a United team play on a consistent basis now. I can count on one hand the amount of games I think the United have actually played well in under Ten Hag. And that's not an exaggeration. I truly don't believe this squad is as bad as what the coaching would have you believe. We're made up of international players, for crying out loud. Players who in other systems have won league titles across Europe. I'm seeing everyone's weaknesses being highlighted by our tactics week in, week out. And no one has flourished at all. Even the players that he's worked with before are now starting to really struggle. You got Rashford stuck on the touchline. Fernandes looks an absolute shell of himself. Martinez looks an absolute liability this season. And we signed Onana seemingly just to punt it long. £600 million, and a lot of it just completely down the drain. He had the reins to sign whoever he wanted in those first 2 seasons, and I think he had a decent bit to say about it this summer as well. And he's easily been the most backed manager since Fergie, and where are we for that now? I've seen Ange, I've seen Slot, I've seen Maresca, and I could name more throughout Europe as well. But bring in and implement an established style of play in less than 10 games. Yet we're here now with Ten Hag, and apparently he needs multiple seasons in order to play any sort of decent football. We're in his 3rd season in charge now. He's had another pre-season to work with these players. Another decent amount of games in this Premier League season. Yet I still don't really know what this guy is trying to do. Week in, week out, we're seeing different tactics, different styles of play, It depends on who the opposition is going to be. I just don't get it. We struggled against Southampton, yet we won 3-0. We were lucky in that game. Against Palace, yet we did play well. But everyone else is beating these teams with absolute ease. Yet United are making it look a struggle. And then whenever we play a top team, we're just resigned to defeat.
Core meltdown in 10 seconds. 9, 8. Meltdown averted. Good boy.
The tactics against Spurs were absolutely pathetic. It's something someone of my level would come up with against them. Oh, Spurs, they play in a high line. So let's just kick it long to Rashford and Garnacho. Play as direct as we can. He's meant to be an elite manager, for fuck's sake. There's absolutely no harm in United moving on for me. Giving it until the international break or even after that just seems like a delay in the inevitable. It's miraculous the players haven't downed tools yet, as I think the fans have. I go into almost every game now just expecting United just to get beat, and it's a pleasant surprise when we don't. But we still don't play well, even if we do win. The joy has been firmly sucked out of this club, and this isn't a reactionary video to the last few games. This has come now after months and months of football where I think the standards are more of relegation level. And that's not an exaggeration. Even a rebuild process can go through some managers in order to find the right one. We're a laughing stock at the minute, and opposition fans, they want Ten Hag to stay in charge. And I think that tells you all you need to know. So there we are, guys. I think I've made my thoughts clear on it now. I've sort of sat on the fence for far too long, and I'm just fed up of it now. When are we actually going to critique Ten Hag? When are fans actually going to hold him accountable? We can't just keep saying us the players. He's brought in so many new players, yet we haven't got a clue what the hell he's trying to do. Yes, it's great he won an FA Cup. I'd much rather be challenging for league titles and Champions Leagues, though, rather than finishing 8th. How many years are we going to find that acceptable? For me, last year, yeah, you can get away with it. This year, we're on track to finish even worse than that now. There's so many teams that are better than us, but I don't think the squads are actually that much better. I think largely it's down to the coaching. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. As I've asked, guys, please subscribe. I'm close to 1,000 subscribers at the minute, so it would mean a lot to me. As always, stay tuned for the next one.